Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a kind of a double cut crease. This does get a little messy, so I do have some powder here. I'm just going to put it under my eyes just in case I get some fallout. I have my Coty Airspun here and just a powder brush. And I'm going to coat the under part of my eye just in case we have to swipe any of it away. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna get my tape ready and kind of just put it on the outer corner of my eye because today's look is going to have quite a sharp point to it. So I'm just gonna kind of line it up to where we want our lines to end here. And then I am going to take my e.l.f. Camo Concealer and coat my eyes to start with a base. I'm going to take it on this Elmar Cosmetics brush. And we're just going to start blending that on there. Now that I have the concealer laid down, I am going to take a white shade. I'm just going to take Glucose from the Blood Sugar palette. And I am going to set my concealer. I'm not going to worry about getting any excess off because I'm trying to make this extremely white. It's going to allow the other shadows to really show their true colors. Okay, so now that that is done, I am going to go into the Morphe X Jeffree Star palette, and I am going to start with the shade Nate, just with this really little detail brush. And tap off any excess so that we don't have it smudging around here. And I'm just going to start in the middle of my eye, a little bit above my normal crease, and create just a tiny little line here and kind of bring it up on the outside. And bring it all the way down into my inner corner. So now that we have this first color kind of laid out here, I am going to blend a little bit, but I am going to blend it downwards. Okay, so now that I have that a little bit blended, I am going to take the shade Wake and Bake on this Luxie 111 flat angle brush. I'm just going to dip into that Wake and Bake shade, and I'm going to put it on top of here so that we have a little bit of a blend upwards. And as I'm laying this shade down, I am blending the two together. But I want to keep that green line there that we had originally. Okay. Now that we have that shade kind of laid down there, I'm going to take a little bit of a bigger brush here. It's just the vintage brush with no product on it, and I'm just going to kind of melt these two colors together. Of course, keeping that lower line there. Okay, so now that I have these two colors kind of laid down and more blended together, I am going to take that same brush that I had my concealer on before, the Alamar Cosmetics brush, and grab a little bit more concealer just to kind of clean up the bottom. We're gonna just create a nice straight line here. And bring it up just a little bit above my crease. Now that we have that concealer laid down, I am going to take glucose again and just kind of set the concealer so we don't have any creasing. I'm just taking it on this big fluffy brush. So now that that is set, here comes the really tricky part, because I am going to leave a little line there as blank space. So I am going to take the shade Fast Lane here, it's this black shade, and very, very carefully just line where this is going to start. Now that I have just a little line here, I'm going to bring it down just the outer portion of my eye. And I'm not dragging the product, I am just stamping it on because we want to get this black as dark as we possibly can. Now, this is a very good black, it's really dark, but with any shadow, it does have a little bit kind of come through once you drag it down, and we don't want that to happen right at the edge here. Okay, now I'm just bringing it in about a quarter of the way right now, and I'm going to take and do the same thing to the inner portion of my eye. And again, keep that blank space there for later, because we are going to put some product on there as well, but we don't want it black. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take another detail brush here, and I am going to dip into the shade Drive Through. It's this dark green shimmery shade, and line the top part of where I want it. Bring it closer into the center. Right now we're not doing any blending, just because we just want these colors laid down at first. Okay, I'm going to do the same thing to the inner portion of my eye. And right now I'm just trying to keep an equal amount of blank space there, so when we lay down the other shade up there, it doesn't kind of look like it's off center at all. Okay, now I'm going to take another detail brush. Yeah, there's a lot of detail brushes in this look. And I'm just going to dip into Nate just a tiny little bit. So there's just a little bit of a gradient here. And now I am going to go in with this Luxie 245 small shader brush, and I'm going to dip into the shade Glam Rapids, and I'm going to lay that right in the center. And again, just stamp this on because we want the most color payoff that we can with this shade. So now that we have all these shades laid down, I'm going to start blending. I'm just going to take this e.l.f. eye crease brush with no product, and I'm just going to lightly, very, very lightly blend these colors together. And that's going to create the gradiented look. Okay. I am actually going to take a little bit more of Nate and lay it down right here on the sides of that light green shade. Okay, I'm going to go back in and just continue blending these colors together. Okay, I'm going to go back in with the drive-through. Fill in a little bit of blank space that I have here that wasn't meant to be there. And just keep blending them together. I'm going to go back in here, take Vaseline just a little bit more, because it did get a little bit patchy once we started blending. I'm just going to kind of line right here where I want all this to stop. And keep blending. So now we have this part. I'm going to take just a little bit of designer label on my fingertip and put that right in the center there to really make that pop. I'm just going to blend just a tiny little bit more. And take a little bit more Vaseline. And just clean up these edges a little bit. So now that we have those colors laid down, I am going to take a little bit more concealer on my Alamar Cosmetics brush and just tidy up just a little bit. Okay, now that we have nice clean lines here, I am just going to take another detail brush here. It's just this e.l.f. The Brow Gal brush. Technically it's supposed to be for your brows, but today we are just going to take it on Million. Right here, it's really pretty shimmer. Now this is a pressed glitter, so it doesn't really need any glitter glue. Of course you absolutely can use glitter glue with this, but it's not necessary. And I am just going to fill in that blank space there. For this part, just take your time. It doesn't need to go extremely fast, especially if you want this glitter to be really solid in the middle there. And just kind of press that glitter in. Don't drag it across, otherwise you're just gonna get messy lines. Okay, so now I'm going to take Designer Label, just a little bit on my fingertip, kind of lay that by my brow bone, and just a tiny little bit in the inner corner, just to make it pop. Okay, now you can see that everything is really nice and blended. I'm going to take this tape off and we're just going to do the lower lash line. Just real quick, I am going to just take probably Vaseline and just really close to my lash line. Just stamp it on. I'm going to connect this sharp line here to my lower lash line. Okay. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer that's already left over and just kind of clean that up just a little bit. Okay, I'm going to take this brush and kind of sweep it underneath my eye. I'm going to go and finish my other eye off camera, put some mascara and eyeliner on, and I'll be right back. Alright, so this is the finished look here. I just threw on some lashes and just a really light gloss. I don't want to take away from this look, but if you can see here, that's it. That's the finished look. I did mess up on my other eye a little bit. I forgot to lay down my concealer, but pretty much got the same effect that I was looking for. So if you have any comments or questions, just leave them down below. You guys have a great day and thanks for stopping by.